All right, now the fourth seal. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice from the fourth beast say, "Come and see." And I looked and beheld a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him, and power was given unto them over a fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, with death, and with the beasts of the earth. And what actually stuck out to me when I read this, after thinking about the coronavirus in the first course, on the first verse, is that it says, and power was given over them unto them over a fourth part of the earth, to kill with a sword, and with hunger, and with death. With death. How do they kill with death? Well, if you've listened to doctors explain to you what's in the vaccine, this death, this little portion in this verse comes alive because of the spike proteins. They turn the spike proteins on in your body, and then it will never turn them off. The spike proteins cause inflammation, and inflammation is the cause of most diseases and problems that happen in your body. So, and even the coronavirus itself, like I said, I believe is manufactured. I have seen a patent, but I'm not going to look it up right now. It caused a lot of inflammation in us. Enough inflammation that we couldn't even use the restroom. And so I think this is why many doctors have a protocol of using aspirin, and that is to keep the inflammation down. So you have inflammation, and then you take the Vax, and then you get more inflammation, more and more inflammation. Yeah, so this verse comes alive, and to kill with death, and with the beast of the earth. So I'm thinking, because it says a fourth part of the earth, I'm thinking that probably these things will be split up into different areas in the earth, but I don't know. Because of the vax, probably that could be happening everywhere. The hunger probably will be happening everywhere. The sword probably happening everywhere. It's the beast of the earth that kind of makes me think it might be localized. Not sure. Okay, and the fifth seal. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar souls of them that were slain for the word of Yahuwah, and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Yahuwah, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. This particular verse doesn't quite jive with the Hollywood rapture theory, and that's probably about all I want to point out in that verse. These are tough words, and they're not fun. It's not fun times. This is the judgment of Almighty, our Creator. So yeah, it's tough. The sixth seal, terror, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell into earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll, when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens of the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from him, from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? I have had dreams about a great earthquake where people were literally kind of floating off the earth off the ground. Not far, just, like 3 to 12 feet. It depended on the person. Because I believe the earth is electromagnetic, I believe that this could happen. I want you to think back about really old maps that you've seen and how our teachers tried to convince us that these people didn't know squat doodly. And so that, their maps were wrong. Really, their maps were wrong. They're idiots. Have you seen the buildings that they built? And their astounding feats of architecture that we can't even come close to these days. Not even remotely close to. Nor do we have the desire to make anything that beautiful and elaborate these days. We don't care. All we do is make little rectangular boxes with a little roof. Really boring. We do see some kind of interesting skyscrapers, but they are still, in comparison, like elementary school. It's just ridiculous. So no, I think that they did know. I've seen many pictures now from the 1800s where there were big Zeppelin balloons carrying people to the tops of skyscrapers and letting them on and off. So some of these, it would stand to reason that they could have been making these maps by some kind of balloon. Anyway, even if they did it by ship and by sight, I think that we need to consider that there could have been an earthquake that did this before, that moved the islands, that changed the face of the earth as we know it. Whether it was in Noah's time or if there was more than one time that it happened, I'm not sure. Then we do know that the moon when I was growing up, the moon was never red. The moon was never orange or yellow or pink or blue. And, since 2000, what was it, like 2015 when we had the blood moon tetrad, the moon is just constantly changing and different than anything I've ever seen in my life. And I am 55, so I've been around a little while. It talks about stars of heaven falling to earth. We've seen many meteor showers. So I think that there's just a lot in Revelation that can be pointing to right now. It could be 20 years from now. It could be, 2 years, 2 months, 2 days. I don't know exactly how long until this part will happen. Let's see. The heaven departed as a scroll when it's rolled together. I believe that's when we will see Yeshua coming in the heavens with 10,000 of his saints. And we should see the new Jerusalem coming down. This is what we should be waiting for. This is a reoccurring theme throughout all of Scripture. And there's a gathering that happens throughout all of Scripture. But this whole harpazo snatching away, that is not something that is congruent through all of Scripture. And also, I think it would behoove us to keep in mind that Hebrews wrote these scriptures. There has to be Hebrew manuscripts around, probably in the Vatican. And in fact, I've been reading some of the Gospels that did come out of the Vatican that were translated strictly from Hebrew into English instead of from Hebrew to Greek to forgot that word. Latin, and from Latin to English. There's going to be something missed in translation when it goes through that many processes, right? Such as in Hebrew, there is 7 words for the word law. In Greek, there's 1 word. You think that there couldn't be some confusion go on? There could. So please keep that in mind when you're reading these scriptures. And we see the word harpazo. This is not something that goes along with anything in the Old Testament. And I have talked about this before, so that I will leave it there. We're at 20 minutes, and that's probably more than most people's attention span. So I'm going to stop here and just ask for you, if you're still here with me, to please like and subscribe, and so that maybe somebody else will see this that might need it. And I hope that you have a blessed day. Please leave some comments in the section below, and let me know if you think that this could be a possibility of one of the layers of this scripture. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.